What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're looking at lesson 11.4 and 11.7. So 11.4 talks about the surface area of cylinders, and then 11.7 talks about the volume of cylinders. So we're just putting them all together today. First thing we're going to talk about is lateral area. And when we're talking about lateral area, that is just shown in the form of capital L. And that is when you take the prism sum of an area for lateral faces. Those are joining the bases of a solid. So we're going to talk about the differences between like the total area, the total surface area, and then just lateral surface area here in a bit. And then the altitude of a prism or a cylinder is the segment perpendicular to the bases that joins the planes of the bases. You can also think about this as the true height of a prism / cylinder. That'll come more into play when we see cones, but for the most part, altitude and height is pretty easy to find. So picturing, maybe we'll draw just a triangular prism here. So then you've got kind of a triangle in the back. So this is supposed to be a triangular prism, but the lateral area is going to be not the bases, but the faces that bring them together, okay? And then the altitude of a prism or a cylinder. So today we're going to talk about cylinders. So we have two circles, one on the top and one on the bottom. So when we talk about the altitude of that, that's going to be the perpendicular segment for the length from one base to the next, okay? Next up, we have the surface area of a cylinder's formula. We're going to use 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. This portion is the lateral surface area. And then this portion is just the area of the bases. Because the bases are two circles, so that's 2 times pi r squared. And then 2 pi rh is the area of the rectangle if we unrolled it. So you think about like a cylinder is kind of like a can, and the label on a can is in the shape of a rectangle. That's going to be, we're basically finding the area of a rectangle. The only problem is we need the length of a circle, which is the circumference, times the height. Okay? So what we're going to do is find the surface area. So if you want to grab a calculator, we're just going to plug in 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So in this case, my 11 is r, my h is 26. So 2 times pi times 11 squared plus 2 times pi times 11 times 26. What I like to do first is I like to simplify in terms of pi first. So I'm going to do 121 times 2, which is 242 pi. And then 11 times 26 times 2, so these three numbers here, gives me 576 pi. I'm going to add these together, so I'm going to get 814 pi. And then I'm going to take 814 and push that times by pi button, and I'm going to get about 2,557.
Attention staff, at this time, please release all of our girl track athletes for their track meet. Please release all of our girls track athletes for their track meet.
So, sorry for the interruption, 2,557.26 square yards would be the surface area of the cylinder. If you want to try example 2 on your own, go ahead and pause the video here, and then whenever you're ready to check, go ahead and click play. So example 2, we are given the diameter on the circle, so I want the radius, which is exactly half. So if we start plugging this into my formula, I'm going to get 2 pi times 5 squared plus 2 pi times 5 times 9 Sometimes people get confused because they don't think the 9 is the height, but remember, the height is just connecting one base to the next. 5 squared is 25. 25 times 2 is 50. So that first section will be 50 pi. 5 times 9 is 45, times 2 is 90 pi. Together, 90 pi plus 50 pi is 140 pi. And then if you multiply 140 times pi, you're going to get about 439.82 square inches. It's a weird looking 8. All right, on the back, we're going to move right along to volume of cylinders. Still going to use radius, still going to use height. The volume of a cylinder sometimes is shown like this, big B times H, where big B means area of the base, and H is obviously the height. But we break it down even further and just talk about area of the base is a circle, so pi r squared times height. Okay? So what we're going to look at now is practicing that exactly here. If you want to pause now and just fill in the formula, see what you get, and then play it just to make sure you can do it by yourself, go ahead. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. So my formula, I'm using pi r squared times height. So that's pi times 18 squared times 15. 18 squared is 324 times 15 is 4,860 pi. So multiplying that by pi, volume is about 15,268.14 cubic inches. Okay. Next up, we're going to find the volume, but keep our answers in terms of x and pi. So this is good. This is some good algebraic practices. Again, our volume formula is pi r squared times the height. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill in my radius squared, which is x minus 5, and squaring that entire expression, and then my height is x. So this x minus 5 squared, I'm going to show you this right here on the side. That's x minus 5 times x minus 5. So we're doing FOIL, first, outer, inner, and last. Combining like terms, I should get x squared minus 10x plus 25. So I'm going to put that here. X squared minus 10x plus 25. Then we're going to distribute that to the x here, and then keep pi on the outside because we're in terms of pi. So really this is distributing x times x squared, so x to the third power minus 10x squared plus 25x. And you can keep pi factored out, or you can redistribute it to everything. So that'd be pi x to the third minus 10x squared pi plus 25x times pi. Either one of these options would work. Last one, Eric has a swimming pool shown below. He would like to fill up his pool to a height of 4 feet. The hose he is using pumps water into his pool at a rate of 80 cubic feet per hour. How many hours will it take to fill the pool? Well, first we got to figure out the volume of how much he wants to fill. Two things we got to pay close attention here. The radius is not 27, it's going to be 13.5. And then instead of using the height 4.5 feet here, we're using the height that he has requested, which is 4 feet. So multiplying 13.5 squared times 4, we get 729. And then 729 times pi is going to give us about 2,290.22 feet cubed. But then we're going to figure out how many hours it'll take to fill it. So we're going to divide all that by 80 cubic feet per hour, which will give us about 28.63 hours. And there we go. So that's all we had for today. Just making sure you've got your formulas written down. Good luck trying your homework questions, and we'll tune in next time when we talk about some prisms. Have a good day. Bye.